Hi, everybody. Hope you are doing well. Welcome to the PowerPoint Crash course. This is a complete full course about PowerPoint that starts from zero to professional. So you don't need to have any previous knowledge of PowerPoint to start this course. This course will take you step by step from zero level until professional level. And by the end of this course, by the end of this video, you will be able to create your professional presentation by yourself without the need of any other help. Microsoft PowerPoint is one of the applications of Microsoft Office packages. The Microsoft Office package have many applications. Everyone is for a special purpose, like Microsoft Word, Excel. PowerPoint is specialized in creating a presentation to present a topic in an attractive way. To open PowerPoint, you need to go to the Start menu in your Windows and then search for PowerPoint and choose it. Once you click the PowerPoint, this welcome screen will open. This welcome screen is divided into two horizontal sections. The upper one is to create new presentation. You have the option to create a blank presentation or to choose a preset designs. These are preset designs. You can choose any design if you want, or you can build your presentation from scratch by using a blank presentation. The bottom part shows you the recently opened PowerPoint presentations in this computer. If you don't have any previous PowerPoint presentation, you will find this list empty. On the left, there are general options like new. If you want to create new presentations, that's the same as those options, or open if you have a previously created presentation and you need to open it. At the beginning, I will take you to create blank presentation, and then we will change the design later. To create a blank presentation from the new section, click on blank presentation. And this is the interface of PowerPoint. It's very important to understand the different components of the interface because the components of the interface generally are the same for all Microsoft Office applications, but every program, every application has its own components as well. Generally, in any application, you will have here the title bar that has the name of the opened file. By default, it will take presentation 1 or 2 or 3 as a default name, and you can change this name later and the name of the application. In the title bar, you can see the control box. This is called the control box, where you can close the window, restore and maximize, and this will minimize your window, so it will be like an icon in the taskbar in the window. So it will disappear from the screen and will appear only as an icon in the taskbar. If you need to open it again, once you minimize it, just click its icon in the taskbar. Here, all this section is called ribbon. Ribbon contains several tabs, like the insert tab, the home tab, the animation, and every tab have several commands. In every tab, you can find the options are divided into groups, and each group with a name. Like this is the font group, contains everything related to the font, to the text that you write. For example, the paragraph group, it contains all the commands that related to the paragraph, and there are separators between every group. When you see something like this small arrow, it means that beside these options, you can go or open a dialog box or prompt that will allow you to use the same options and more. At the bottom here, this is a status bar where you can see information about the opened file. For example, here we have only one slide. The first number is the number of the current slide, the current selected slide this is the total number of slides. As we have only one slide until now, this is a slide number 1 of total of 1 slide. Zoom slider to zoom in or zoom out of the slides, And also you can choose the zoom percentage from here. So these two are the same. Here are the different views of the PowerPoint presentation. We will talk about them later. And this will open the notes section. Here is the notes. In the middle here, you will see the current slide, the slide that you are currently working on and editing. And in this section, this is called the outline. In this part, you will see all the slides in this presentation. So when we add more slides, we will see them here, all of them, and only the current slide will be displayed here. The notes, if you need to write a note about any slide, the notes can be shown or hidden from here. And this section, if you come here to the separating line after the ruler, which you can use to increase the outline or decrease the outline part. The PowerPoint file is called the presentation because you use it to present a topic. Every presentation is composed of one or more slides. This is called the slide. You may have one or more. This is equivalent to the page in Microsoft Word, but here we are working with the slides, not with pages. By default, you will get the first slide as a title slide where you can write the main title of your topic. And if you want to add a subtitle, you can add it here. You couldn't write directly on the slide. If I point to any point of the slide, I couldn't get any writing cursor because you are not allowed to write directly on the slide. To write on the slide, you need to add an object to write in it, like a text box. Here you can see a text box to write inside, but directly on the side, this is not possible. So here I will write a title. This title will be computer system, and I will add a subtitle. The title and subtitle depends on your own presentation, and you can skip the subtitle, by the way. You can leave it blank. You can leave it without a subtitle. It depends on what is your presentation is about and how you need to design it. This is the first slide, title slide. I need to add many slides so I can present my topic because the topic has elements. I need to display each element of my topic. I need to add another slide. So from home, here you can see new slide. If you click on new slide directly, it will give you the second default slide. The second default slide is title and content. This layout is called the title and the content because it has a space or a text box for the title for this slide and content where you can add more detail about this title. But if you open this drop-down list, you can find many slide options, many layouts. You can choose the layout according to your need. You have, for example, blank, that will be totally blank slide without any object, without any text box, and you will add the different objects by yourself. Or if you need to have only title only, for example, or another title slide. This, for example, has two content, which means it has a title and two content. I will add this as well. Now I have 3 slides. And as you can see, the number of slides increases to 3, and the current slide now selected is the third slide. If I click here, so the current slide is slide number 2. I already wrote the title, so now I need to create the first slide. And here, you can type text or you can choose one of these objects. We will talk about them later. But for now, I will write just an object. This is only what I need. I will move to the third slide. Here you have a title and the 2 content, which means you can write or include or insert 2 contents on 2 columns. As you can see, if I need to change the layout, I don't need to add a new slide, but I need to change the layout of this slide. To only change the layout of the current slide, from here, and I will use this layout. That is like a comparison. So you have a big title, and here you have a side title, subtitle, and the text or the components in under each title. Side title here and a side title here. And under this title, I want to add some points. Now I finished the third slide. My presentation is about the classification of the computer system, hardware and software. This is just a simple presentation. You can choose your own topic and write about it. Here in PowerPoint, you will find many options that are similar to Microsoft Word. For example, to format my text, I need to format this title. So I will select it from here, from Home tab, the font group. From here, you can change the font type. You can change the font size from here or from these two. This will increase the font and this will decrease the font. Or you can choose the font size that you want from here. You can make it bold, italic, underline. Also, these are toggle buttons, so you can set them off if you need to remove any of them. You can add a shadow. This is to add a shadow to the text. And this adds a strike through the text. All of these are toggle buttons, which allow you to switch the option on or off. This will change the case of your text, like the capital letters and the small letters. Here, sentence case will make the first letter in each sentence capital and all other letters are small. Lowercase will change all the letters into lowercase. Uppercase will turn all letters into uppercase. Capitalize each word will make the first letter in each word the capital and the rest of the letters small. Toggle case will reverse the case. So if you have capital letters, it will be converted into small letters. And if you have small letters, will be converted into capital letter. Here, the color of the font. And this is a highlighter color. If you need to add a highlighter on the text, just click it and move over. The text will be highlighted. Once you finish, if you still see the icon of this highlighter, you can click it once again, or you can press escape from the keyboard. To remove the highlighter color, select the highlighted text, and from here you can choose no color. You can also, here you can also change the font size and the font style and everything from here, from this font. Let me increase this font. And I will make it bold. And this is the paragraph format. That any option here will be applied to the text as a paragraph. For example, alignment, the alignment of the text within the text box. Normally or by default, you'll find it aligned left. We have center to align it to the center. If you need to add the title at the center of the line, at the center of the text box, this is right align. And this is justify. If you have a paragraph, you can justify it, which means to be aligned from both sides, from right and left. So I will set the title to the middle. And I will change its color to the deep red. Here I have bullets. I will also increase the font size. And here are the bullets are activated. From here I can change the bullet style. Or you can choose to add numbering instead of bullets. I will choose this bullet style. From here, this is the line spacing. If you need more spacing between the lines, like 1.5 lines or double line spacing, also from here you can go to line spacing options. From here you can see the alignment like those, left, centered, and right, justified. You can also set your direction from right to left or left to right. By default, it's left to right. Indentation, the indentation before the text, before the paragraph. If you write a multi-line paragraph, this will be very helpful. So for the paragraph, we have indentation like before the text from here. If you need to increase the space before the text, you can increase it. And here we have first line and the hanging. First line will apply a first line indent, which means the first line of the multi-line paragraph will be shifted a little bit and leave a space before it. If you have your paragraph like this, if you choose to apply a first line, it will be like this. A space will be added before the first paragraph. But hanging will keep the first line in its position, but it will indent the other lines. That is the difference between hanging and first line. Before and after, if you need to add a space above the paragraph, this is before, or add a space after the paragraph, below the paragraph, this is after. You can change these points. Line spacing, this is the same as this, where we can choose a line spacing like adding a single line or 1 point line or double line. We can add more line spacing, but multiple if you need to apply 3 or 5 line spacing. To add a background color for the slide, you can right-click on any blank area, not inside the text box, but in any blank area on the slide, and then format background. You can choose to apply a solid fill color, to apply only one color to the background, like this. Or if you need to apply a gradient fill, you can choose the gradient fill and the style of the gradient from here. The type of the gradient, whether you need it rectangular or any of these types, radial, for example. And the direction. This means the direction of distributing the different colors in the gradient. And if you need to change the gradient colors themselves, you have here this slider. Every stop is a color. So you can remove some of these colors or add colors. If I need to maintain or to keep only, for example, 2 colors or 3 colors, I can click any one that I don't need and drag and drop it anywhere. So now I have 3 colors. If you need to change any color of these, just click on the color, click on the stop, and from here, you can choose the color that you need. And if you drag, you can increase the intensity of the color. I would change the direction from here, for example. And if you want to change another color, I want to change the color of this, click it, and then from here you can choose another color. Transparency, if you need to add a transparency from here. And the brightness, you can increase or decrease the brightness of the background, the color. And once you finish, you can choose to apply to all. This setting is applied to the current slide only, but if you choose to apply to all, it will be applied on all the other slides. Not only gradient, you can choose to add the background picture or text or texture fill. Picture or texture fill. Once you choose it, you will have a texture. You can change the texture from here. And also, if you need to apply this background to all, you need to apply to all. Or if you need to add a background as a picture, you can insert a picture from here. Click insert, and you have many options. You can insert the picture from file. If you have a picture in your computer, you can choose from file and locate your picture and choose it will be applied as the background. Or you can choose a picture from the online store. I will take this picture and insert. So it will be the background of the slide. It's not an added picture, but it is a background. A pattern field, if you need to apply a pattern. You have different patterns here. And from here, you can change the foreground color and the background color. I will go back to solid fill and I will choose solid fill. I will apply it to all. Once you finish, you can close the format background. Also from design, you can choose format background and you will get the same prompt. Themes or designs. It will apply a design, a full design to all your slides, including the background, the font, everything. You can choose it from design, and here you have many themes. From here, you can choose the theme. I will choose this. And here there are variants for this theme, like different colors of the same themes. And you can also choose the color palette. If you need to choose specific fonts, you can choose from here. I will stick with this design. To save your work, click Save from here. You can change this name if you need. The extension of the PowerPoint file is PBTX. Extension means the code by which your computer will realize that this is a PowerPoint file. Every application has its own extension. PowerPoint, PBTX. For example, video has an extension of MP4. Using this extension, your system, your Windows will realize which application to use to open this file. And from here, you can choose a location to save your file. I will keep it in document and then save. The name is changed to the new name. If you need to save a copy of this presentation, to keep this copy and to save another copy. Why we need to do that? Sometimes you need to do that if you need to make some changes to your work, but you are not sure if you will need the previous version or not. To be safe, it's better to save a copy to keep the previous version with its formatting, the old version with its formatting, and apply all the new changes to the new file. Also, if you need to create a new presentation and it is based on other presentation, it has the same content, for example, and you don't need to waste time, you can save it as and work on the new version. How to save this as? File, save as, browse. You can save it in a different location or in the same location. But if you decide to save your file in the same location, you need to change the name. I will name it Computer System 2. Save. Now the opened file now is Computer System 2. So anything I will apply now will be applied on the new version, which is Computer System 2. So now I need to add another slide. I need to add different objects in the slide. For example, I need to add a smart art, like a hierarchy. I will choose to add new slide, title and content. There is a smart art. You can click it here, or from insert, smart art. These are the same. Smart art. We have different smart arts here. All have all the categories, but here we have different categories. I need a hierarchy. I will need to choose this and then okay. Now you have the, I need to get rid of this title. I don't need it because I will write the title in the hierarchy. You can increase its size like this, and you can increase the size of every shape inside this hierarchy. I don't need this, so I will click and delete. And I know I need only two branches, so I don't need this. I will click it and delete. When you select the smart art, you will find a new tab, Smart Art Design, that will allow you to change the design of the smart art and format to work with the format of this smart art. For example, here you have layouts. If you need to change the layout of your hierarchy, the styles, if you need to apply special style like 3D style or any other styles, you can see we have different options. And from the colors, you can choose the color of the hierarchy. Here, if you need to change it to right to left, normally it is left to right. If you need to change right left, you can click here. If I need to add a shape beside this, so I will click it from add shape, add after and before will add a new shape beside in the same level the cell of the selected shape. Above and below, above will add a shape above this shape. Below will add a shape that is branched from this shape, lower level. Assistant will add an assistant box under this shape, the selected one. Let's see if I added shape before, it will be added in the same level as you can see of this. If I added shape below, it will add a shape below this level, a lower level. I don't need those, so I'll click and delete, and this click and delete. I would select this, and from format, you can change the fill color. If you need to change the fill color of one of them, you can select it, and from format, the fill color, you can choose the fill color that you need of the selected shape. The shape outline, if you need to add an outline color, or you can choose no outline if you don't need to add an outline color. If you select any shape or the whole smart art, you can go to home and change the font and size and everything related to the font. Inserting pictures and shape inside the PowerPoint, inside the slides. I will insert a new slide, a new blank slide. So I will choose the blank layout. And here I want to insert a picture. From inserts, pictures, we have several options. This device will allow you to grab picture from your computer if you have pictures saved on your PC. Stock image to grab image from the stock or from online picture store. I will go for online pictures and I will search for a picture for hardware. You can choose one or more pictures by selecting them and then insert. Now I have two pictures. They are very big. I need to resize it. So once you select the picture, it will be selected like this with these small, tiny selection points. You can resize it. And this is the same. I can from here resize it to be small. Once you added a picture, there is a picture format tab emerged. But if I click outside the picture, this picture format tab disappears. If you need to display it again, so you just click on any picture. From here, you can change the picture style. You can choose whatever the style that you like. And from here, you can change the picture border. You can change the color of the border, or you can choose no border. Picture effects will allow you to add extra effects to your picture. Preset are collective effects like shadow. If you need to add a shadow to the picture, this style already has a shadow. Reflection, if you need to apply reflection. Glue, if you need to add a glue around the picture. Soft edges, if you need to soften the edges of the picture, you can choose any soft edges. Bevel, to apply a bevel. If you notice, every option has its no option. Glue has no glue. Reflection has no reflection. Every option has its no option. That to remove this effect. For example, there is a bevel applied. If I need to remove bevel um, effect, I can choose no bevel. The picture has a reflection. If I need to remove the reflection, I can go to reflection and choose no reflection. If you need to remove the shadow, simply from picture effects shadow, no shadow. Here you have the color. You can make color adjustments for your picture. You have many color adjustments. You can choose any of them. Artistic effect will apply an artistic effect to your picture, like blurring, for example, or pixelation. Transparency, to increase the transparency of the picture. You can do the same for this picture as well. The idea is which picture you are selecting. If you have these two pictures like this is the front picture and this is the back picture. This is like this because it has a transparency. If you remember, we applied the degree of transparency. From these options, you can change the order of the pictures if you have many objects. Bring forward, if you click the drop down arrow, there is a bring forward and bring to front. This option is in general brings the picture or the shape or anything to the front. But bring forward will bring the object one step to the front. While bring to front will bring the object to the front of all other objects. So if they are, for example, four shapes, four objects, and I choose bring to front for one of them, this one will be in front of all the four objects. Bring forward will be moved one step to the front. The opposite is send backward. From here you can see send backward and send to back. The same idea. But send backward will send the picture to the back one step, while send to back will send the picture to the back of all the objects. So if you have many objects, this object, the selected object, will be at the back of all of them. Crop, if you need to crop a part of the picture. Now I cropped a part of the picture. Rotate, you have different rotation, like rotate right 90 degrees or rotate left 90 degrees or flip vertically or flip horizontally. And these are the dimensions of the picture, the width and the height and the width. You can adjust them if you like. And this is for the picture. If I need to add shapes, from insert shapes, you can choose any shape and draw it inside your slide. The same, once you draw the shape and select it, you will find Shape Format tab appeared. If you click outside, this Shape Format tab will disappear. So click the shape to grab this Shape Format tab. From here, you can choose the shape style. This is preset style. The shape fill to change the fill color of the shape. The shape outline to change the outline color of the shape. Also, in the shape outline, there is a weight to increase the weight of the outline. From shape outline, again, you can apply dashes style for the outline. Or you can choose no outline if you don't need an outline. Shape effects is the same as picture effects. You can apply shadow, reflection, glue, and soft edges. All the other options are the same as we saw with the picture format. Another way to insert a picture is to insert a slide with content. Any slide with content, one content or two content. I will choose this. And here in the slide content, you can see here pictures. You can click here and now you can choose from device, search the web, or to insert an icon. Here you have many icons. You can choose the icon that you need to add and then insert. And here is the icon, and it has the same idea as picture and shapes. There is a graphic format, has the same options. I will insert another icon from insert icons and I will add this. I will change the color of this from the graphics format. If I drag any of them, it will be dragged separately. And these are, for example, these are three balloons. It seems that they are grouped together. From graphic group, you can ungroup it. Yes. Once I choose ungroup, you can see that the selection is now different because all of these objects return back as many objects. If I click outside, I can drag every one of them. All the grouped shapes are now ungrouped. Now I need one of these to be here and to group it with this building. So I will select both icons, click the first one, hold shift and click the second one. Both are selected. And from a graphics format, group, choose group. Now they are only one object. They behave as one object. If you need to ungroup it, again, select and then from graphic format, group, ungroup. Now they are ungrouped. If you want to delete any object or picture or sheet, just click it and delete from the keyboard. You can also insert a 3D model from Insert 3D Model. If you have the 3D model in your device, you can choose this device and locate your 3D model on your PC, or you can choose a 3D model from the stock 3D models. You can search for a 3D model, or you can choose from these categories. I will choose this and this, then insert. Just click outside because both are selected. I chose two 3D models, so I need to deselect them first. So I will click anywhere outside and then I can drag and drop every one of them. Here's one of them. When you select the 3D model, you will have a specific tab to work with them with the name 3D model. From here, you can choose another 3D model. From here, you can choose the view of the model. And also you can use this to change the view. I can do the same for this. You can choose the 3D model view from here, or you can use this. If you want to reset your model, click the model and then reset 3D model. You can also insert a word art. Word art is a word in a graphical format. From here, you can choose any word art style. It will give you this text box with your text here. You can replace this with your text. You can drag and drop anywhere on your slide, and you will get shape format tab, so you can use it to change and edit your word art format. For example, the word art style, to change the word art style. And from here, you can change the fill color of the word art. And also you can choose the outline color, or you can choose no outline to remove the outline. Here also there is word art effects to add shadow, for example, the same as the picture. If you need to add a shadow, reflection, if you need to apply reflection to your word art. Glue, if you want to add a glue. You have different glue colors and sizes. You can choose if you need, and bevel to apply a bevel. You can use a 3D rotation to rotate your word art. And you can use the transform to transform and wrap your word art. I will insert a new slide, title and content. You can add a chart to your PowerPoint presentation. If you have data and you need to represent your data in a chart, like in Excel, you can insert chart, or from the content layout of the slide, of the new slide, you can choose the insert chart icon. Here you can see different types of charts. This is the same prompt in Excel for Excel charts. I will choose column. Here you have, for every category, you have many options. I will choose the first option and then OK. Now the chart is inserted in your slide together with a data sheet. In this data sheet, you can edit the series name and the category, the headers for the categories, and also the values. Every color is a series, and all the block is called the category. For example, if I need to show the sales of different input components of the PC in different countries, for example, USA, EU, and Canada. And this can be mouse, the keyboard, the CPU. And you can edit the numbers here. You can add more data. If you go down, you can find more rows to add more data. If you need to add more data, everything you will edit here will be applied on the chart. If, for example, I change this to 10, there will be a change in the chart representation. Close this. I will remove the title text box, and I will resize the chart. Here you can see the legend, a color for each country. And there's a chart design and format tabs to work with the chart. Also here you have options to work with the chart. Like for example, you can add axis titles. Like here, for example, I will write here devices, and here I will write sales. For the chart title, I will double click inside the text box of the chart title, and I will add a title sales by country. From the chart design, you can change the chart design. Also, you can change the chart type from chart design, change the chart type. For example, I need to apply a bar chart, and then OK. Now we have a bar chart. Any part of the chart can be formatted, like I can change the color of any part. Now I'm on the chart, the plot area or the chart area. I will click here. And here I can find format a chart area, or I can get it from format, and format selection will give me this section. So you can choose whether you need to add a solid fill color. For example, if you need to add a solid fill color, or gradient fill, picture, texture, pattern fill, the same as we saw in the background of the slide. You can choose the color that you need. Also, if you need to change the color of the columns, you can click the series, the column that you need. The series has the same color. For example, this is the series for Canada, CA. I can change its color by clicking on it. Now, the title of the format section is format data series because anything I will choose will be applied on the selection. I will choose fill color and I will choose another color like this, for example. You can do the same for each series. This, for example, format data series, solid fill, and from here you can change the color. Inserting a table inside the slide. From insert, table, and here you can select how many rows and columns you need for this table. If you look here, you will see how many rows and columns are selected. I need 3 by 3 tables, so just click and now you have the table. You can drag the table anywhere and you can resize it. You can select the row. When you get this small black arrow, just click this is selected. You can click and move over. Now you select many rows. The same for columns. If you need to select a column, you can come over the column and click. And you can drag and move over the other columns if you need to select many columns. Just clicking inside the first cell, you can start typing. You can move from a cell to the next by pressing tab, and from a cell to the previous by shift tab. If you need to insert a row, just click inside the row that you need to insert row above or below. And from here you can see 2 table tabs. These are specialized in working with table. From table layout, here you can see insert row above and insert row below. From their names, this will insert row above the current row, and this will insert a row below the current row. I will insert row above. Now my data is shifted and there is a row, another row, an extra row is added above the previous row. Also, we have insert column to the left and the column to the right. To the left of the selected column. To the left, we'll insert a column to the left. I will need to add a title to this side. So first I need to convert all of these cells into one cell. To convert many cells into one cell, this is called merge cells. You need to select the cells. You can merge 2 cells or more. I need to merge all of these cells, so I selected them, and from table layout, merge cells. Now the cell become only one cell. I will write the title here. Here I have these cells become only one cell and I have a title. But I need a title to have a vertical direction. In this case, I can go to text direction, and from here you can choose the direction of your text. I will choose this direction. Also, I need now to adjust the alignment. Here you can see the alignment, the horizontal alignment, which is left, center, right, and this is the vertical alignment to top, middle, and bottom. I need to center it, so I will choose center and middle. To increase the width of this cell, so I will come here on the separating line between this cell and the next cell, or this column and the next column, and I will drag slightly. It will split this cell into many cells, so I will use an option called split cells. This to split one cell into several cells. Split cells, and here will be asked the number of columns to split and the number of rows. If you keep it 2 columns and 1 row, it will be separated or splitted vertically into 2 cells. If you, for example, choose to split it into 1 column and 2 rows, it will be splitted horizontally to have 2 cells. Okay, now the cell is splitted like this. To delete a column or a row, just click inside the column that you want to delete, and from delete, you can delete column. Delete column will delete the selected column, and delete rows will delete the active row or the selected row. Delete table will delete the whole table. So I will delete this column. Also, I want to delete this row. So from here, delete rows. Also, you can select the whole table and go to home. You can simply choose that font type and the font size. And everything related to font and alignment, normal formatting. From table design, you can choose a table style to change the shading color for these two cells. I will select them. And from shading, I can choose the shading color. Borders to apply a border to the table. We already have border, but if I need to apply another border or a different border from borders, click here. You can see that you can apply partial border or complete border. Like all borders will apply outside and inside border, or you can only apply an outside border or inside border, top, bottom, any part of the border, or you can remove the current border by no border. I will choose all borders. Presentation in general is characterized by many options that are specific for presentation to make it attractive, like the transitions and the animation. These allow you to apply transitions in the animation, but what is the difference between a transition and the animation? The transition is the movement of the slide as a whole object, like the entrance of the slide, how the slide will enter or will exit, while animation is the animation or the movement of the objects inside the slide. Let's have a look. I will go to the first slide, then transition. I have many transitions here. You can choose any of them. The transition has effect options like the direction of the transition, and sometimes this differs according to the style or the transition that you choose. Also, you can add a sound with the transition. You can preview from here. I'm not sure if you can hear the sound or not, but I hear the sound. You can practice. You can choose the theme. You can choose the options that you like and the sound, and just to preview it to listen to hear the sound and to see the transition. This transition is now applied on this current slide only. If I need to apply the same transition to all the slides, you can simply click on apply to all. And from here, you can set the trigger. What will trigger this transition? This is the default option, which is by mouse in the slideshow. Once you click the mouse, the transition will start. Or you can adjust it by timing to have as timing. I will go to the second and I will apply another transition like this, for example. I will apply another transition here like curtains. The animation is for the objects in the slide. So if I need to animate the title, I will select the title, the text box of the title. You can animate anything inside the slide, like the text, the title, the shape, the picture, the word art, the graphics, anything inside the picture, the table, the smart art, all of this you can animate. Select the object, and from animation, here you can choose the animation that you need. And there are effect options for the animation, and for some of them you may have different options. For this I will animate it as well. I will choose fly in, and from the effect option you can choose the direction of flying, and if you go down you can choose how you want to animate this object. Since it has more than one paragraph, you can choose to animate it as one object or all at once or by paragraph. For the smart art, I will select the smart art, and from here I can choose an animation. For example, I will choose the shape, and from the effect option you can shape it in or out. You can choose the style of the shape or the shape to be diamond, for example, box or plus. Let's choose it to be diamond. We still have some options like to animate all the smart R as one object or level at once. Every level will come at once or level one by one. You can select the picture or the shape and also animate it, choose an animation. I will choose this arrow and from here I can choose animation, but for this arrow I will choose a motion path. A motion path will allow you to animate the object in a path, to take a path like line, turn or arc or shape. But also you can choose a custom path to draw the pathway of this object. So you can take this and draw the pathway that you need the object to move. And then double click. And the shape will move in the same pathway that you draw. Also the table can be animated. Select the table. You can choose any animation. And there is an animation effect. You can choose the effect that you need. So you can animate the chart from animation. You can choose any animation, and effect option can be by element in category or element in series. Even element, for example, element in category, every block is a category. So by element in category will display every item or every series in every category. When you apply an animation, the order of the animations are written beside the objects. But as you see, I animate them in a specific order, but I need to change the order of the animation. For example, I need the title, then after the title, I need to animate the subtitle, like the hardware, then the software. So I need the software to take number 3 in the animation, to take the order, the third order in the animation. Is that possible? Yes, this is possible. Once you apply animation and you need to remove or reorder the animation, you can simply from animation choose animation pan. And here you can see all the animations. I expanded the animation and now I need this software to be number 3. I will drag this software and move with it to go under animation number 2. Now you can see that hardware and software number 2 and number 3. And if you preview the title, then these options. I will stop the preview. You can also, from this arrow, you can choose when to start by mouse click or with the previous animation or after the previous animation with timing. You can also change the effect options that we saw here, or you can apply timing. I will choose timing, maybe by mouse click or with previous or after previous. Here you can choose to delay some seconds, for example, 1 second, and the duration of the movement. You can adjust it to be slower or faster. You have many speeds. You can choose to repeat it a specific number of times or until you click or end of the slide. I will cancel this. You can also remove the animation by choosing remove. I will close the animation bar. Where can I see this animation? In the slideshow. And where can I see the slideshow? At the beginning of this video, I told you that we have different views of the PowerPoint. Here is the current view, the normal view, that shows you the current slide here and the outline on this side that shows all the slides in this presentation. This is the sorter view, the slide sorter view, where you can see all the slides are sorted as small slides. And this view is perfect for reordering your slides. For example, I can take slide number 3 and place it here as 2, and I can take number 6 and place it here. You can reorder easily. You can reorder the slides easily. from the slide sorters. Here to see it as a reading preview. I will press escape, and this is the slide show preview. This is the show that you should use to present your topic. After you finish your presentation, you will need to display it as full screen, as you can see it now. This is the presentation mode or the slideshow. The other view is to design your slides and to finish your slides, but this for presenting your slide. With every click will move you to the next object. And as you can see, the animations and transitions are applied. I am clicking the mouse because I choose to apply the animation with mouse click. Also, you can right click on any slide to move to the next or the previous or the last viewed slide, or to see all slides like this and to choose the slides that you want to display now on the slideshow. Also, you can use the screen to show a black or white screen. I will go to last view to go to the previous slide. Also here, these are for navigation, moving next and moving previous. And this can be used to annotate on your slide if you are displaying and explaining something. You can use the laser pointer, for example, like this. Or you can use the pen to make some illustrations or annotation. And here you can choose the pen color. From here, you can use the highlighter to highlight something while you are presenting your topic. Also, there is an eraser, so you can erase whatever you need. And from here, also you have erase all ink on the slide if you still have ink. I will stop the eraser and now return it back to my normal mode. When you finish or you need to stop the slideshow, just press escape from the keyboard or right click and end show. When I end the show, I return it back to the previous view. So now I will return to the normal view to see my slides and my outline. If you need to explain the slides to record your video while presenting, so from slideshow, rehearse timing, and there is a recorder here is counting. You can record your voice and move over the slides. The timing of each item in the slide with the voice over will be recorded. Once you finish, you can close this and it will give you information about the total recording time for the slideshow. If you need to save the new slide timing, press yes. You can work with the slides like copying, duplicating slides, or cut slides from this presentation to another presentation or in the same presentation. Right click on the slide and choose duplicate slide. This slide will be duplicated. Right click copy and then right click anywhere and paste. You can also paste it in another presentation, in another PowerPoint file. You can select multiple slides, select shift and click the last slide in selection. So I selected these 3 slides, and you can choose to cut, copy and paste. You can also delete a slide, or you can drag and drop them to reorder the slides. I don't need the slide, so I will delete it, right click and delete. You can also hide the slide. The slide will remain in the presentation, but it will be hidden. Delete a slide. So the slide is deleted right now. You can also edit the slide size from design slide size. Now the size is 16 to 9. You can make it as a standard, and you can choose whether to maximize or to ensure fit. Maximize will maximize the slide, and maybe this result in part of the slide will be invisible on the screen. But ensure fit will ensure that the whole slide fits the area in the screen. Let's maximize custom slide size if you need other sizes. Here, slide sized for. You can choose to be sized for on-screen show or to be printed or on any size of paper. As you can see later, A4, whatever the size of the paper, or for the overhead projector or widescreen. You can choose which size you need this slide for. And this is the width and the height. Every size has its width and the height. And you can edit the width and the height to get a custom size. Number slide from, if you need to add a number to the slide, you can start from 1, or you can, for example, start from 3 or any other number. Orientation, the orientation either portrait or landscape. Normally the slide is landscape, but if you need it to be portrait vertical, you can choose vertical. The notes, handouts, and the outline. The notes that you added to the slide here. Then the notes page will display the slide at the top section of the paper of the page, and in the bottom section it will display the notes about this slide if you write a note on the slide. The handouts are the slides in the sorter view. The slides will be resized to small size, and many slides can be displayed on one page when printed. The outline is this section that display the outline of the whole presentation. You can also choose to print the notes, handouts, and the outline in portrait or landscape papers when printed. Then okay, I will ensure fit. Now the slides, can you see the slide is portrait. I will go back from slide size, custom slide size, and I will choose it to be landscape. And I will ensure fit. To print the presentation from file, print. Here, the number of copies. If you need to print this presentation in one copy or more, you can write here the number of copies that you need to print. Here you will see the name of the printer. If you don't have a printer, it will extract it to a PDF file. Here, what you need to print. Whether you need to print all slides or the current slides, the slides that you can see here. Custom range, if you need to print specific slides. For example, I need to print slide number 5. I will write slide number 5. And now you can see only slide number 5. If you need to print like slide number 3 and 5, 3, 5, and now you can see only slide 3 and slide 5. If you need to print all of the slides, you can print all the slides. And here you can navigate over the slide to see your slide, to preview your slides. How do you want to print? Here we have several options like full page slides. While printing, every slide will be on one page. Notes pages means it will print the slide at the top and underneath the notes if you wrote notes below slides. So every slide will be at the top like this, and at the bottom the notes of this slide. The outline will print the outline section, so you can see the outline of your presentation. Also from here you can decide to print handouts, to print one slide per page, two slides per page, up to 9 slides per page. Collate, when you choose more than one copy, you can choose to print the copies collated or uncollated. So the collated will print the full first copy, and then the second full copy, and then the third full copy. If it is not collated, uncollated will print slide number 1 with all its copies, then slide number 2 with all its copies, and so on. Here you can choose the color scale, whether it need to be colored, print in colors, or gray scale, or pure black and white. When you finish, you can press print. To add a header and footer for your pages, from insert, header and footer, and here you have two options, whether you need to add a header and footer for the slide or for the notes and handout. If you remember when we were going over the print options, we have an option to print slides or to print notes and handouts. The slide is the slide to be printed as a whole unit in the page without anything else but the notes and handouts. The notes is to print the slide at the top part of the page. Underneath will be the notes about this slide. The handouts means to print more than one slide in one page. So here you can add header and footer to the slide. This will add date and time, and also you can choose whether you need the date and time to be updated automatically or to be fixed. If you need to add a fixed date, go and choose fixed, and you can write here the date that you need to add in the slide. Or if you need the date is updated automatically, you can choose it from here, and from here you can choose the format of the date, whether you need long date, for example, or short date, or you need date and time, date only or time only. This will add the slide number, and this will add a footer. If you need to write a footer, you can select footer and write the footer that you want. If you want to exclude the title slide from these settings, you can choose don't show on title slide. For the notes and the handouts that you will see while printing, you can also add date and time. You can choose to be updated automatically or to be fixed, the same as we did in the slide, but the extra part here is to add a header. Here there is a possibility to add a header. You can select and write any header. When you finish, you can apply to all. If you remember, this is the first slide duplicate, so they are the same. There is no footer, but if you go to the other slides, you can see the footer. Here is the slide number, the date, and the footer that I added. And to see the header and footer for notes page and for handouts, you can go to File, Print, and from here you can choose Note pages, and here you can see the header for the note page and the page number, and also for the outline. In PowerPoint, there is an option. In PowerPoint, there is an option that can save you a lot of effort and time, because this option will allow you to apply global changes, global edits, one time, and then they will be automatically applied on all of the slides. This is called the slide master. To show the slide master is not a slide, it's a view of the PowerPoint. So you can go to View, Menu, and here you can choose Slide Master. Also, we have Handout Master if you need to show or view the Handouts Master and the Notes Master. Let's go and choose Slide Master. Now we are in the Slide Master view, and anything I will apply here will be applied automatically on every slide of the same type. For example, this slide is title and content. If I choose the title and the content slide, and then I choose from home to edit the font type, font size, and the color. This will be applied to all the titles of the slide of the type, title, and the content. For the title slide, you can choose to apply anything for the title slide. You have full menus options. You can use them to apply whatever you need. You can insert a picture, for example. You can insert a word art. You can apply formatting. Do whatever you need to be public or to be global on your presentation. Here for this slide title and to content, and here for the slide of this type. So you can choose every type of slide and apply the changes that you need. And this will be applied to all the slides of the same type. I will go to the title slide and I will insert a picture from online pictures. I will just resize this picture. You can use a picture format to edit the picture. When you finish, go back to Slide Master. Here you can see a tab of Slide Master. And close Master View. First, you can see now the title of the title and the content slide has the same formatting that I applied in the Slide Master. And if I added any slide of the same type, title and the content will have the same formatting. Here in the title slide, there is a picture, the picture that I added, but from here I couldn't delete it or I couldn't edit it. If you notice, I couldn't even select it from here. To work on with this picture, because I added it from the master view, I have to edit it and delete it from the master view. So I will go back to the master view, from view, slide master, and here you can select the picture and delete it. Then close master view. Now it is not there anymore. So the master view or the slide master is a view of the PowerPoint presentation. To apply global changes, any change that you will apply will be applied on all slides of the same type in this presentation. And that's all, guys. Thank you for watching and see you in another video.